Struggling with debt? Bills, loans, credit cards? Need a way out? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. Free, impartial advice on all your debt matters.
Yeah, I mean, we're now 5 events in. This is our 6th behind closed doors. We're very thankful for BT in helping us be able to get our fighters out, give them regular opportunities to box, to earn money, to gain that experience. In particular, some of the younger guys that have had that opportunity, some of them would have never even had the opportunity if this pandemic hadn't happened, to have even been part of maybe a televised broadcast. So that's an opportunity in itself. We started small in July. We always said that we were going to, and to build gradually as we could see what was happening, learning how to deal with the new safety environments that we have to work within. We saw tremendous numbers for our shows in August. It was great to have some top line talent back in the ring. Carl Frampton, Daniel Dubois, Joe-Joyce as well in July. And we go from there now to what I think is probably the strongest show that we've come back with, which is full of great domestic fights, really good competitively matched fights. Unfortunately lost one of the fights this weekend, which is going to be pushed back, and I can answer some questions about that later, John. But no, we're in a good place. We're in a good place considering where the world is right now.
So we've got the return of Anthony Yard, his first fight since February, against Deck Spellman, who everybody saw perform heroically against Lyndon Arthur 7 weeks ago. And Deck, as you'll hear a little bit later, he certainly fancies his chances of giving Anthony Yard a very real test. Eko Essuman against Cedric Peno, which is a talented, undefeated young fighter, Essuman from Nottingham.
Yeah.
And the middleweight eliminator, the British middleweight eliminator contest, Mark Heffron against Denzel Bentley. I mean, it's almost disparaging to describe it as a trade fight, but the bookies literally can't split them.
Well, it's a pick-em. I mean, there's no doubt about it, and I think everyone that we've certainly spoken to about that fight is looking forward to it. I expect that there will be some heavy shots landed. I think we're going to see them both kind of meet in the middle, square, very much. You could put that almost in a telephone box, the way that they're going to fight with each other. They're both thrilling fighters. They've both got lots and lots of talent. Mark's obviously he's moved now over to work with Michael Jennings. He had that great contest with Liam Williams where unfortunately he came up short, but he's gone back. He's on a bit of an unbeaten run of fights since that fight with Liam. He'll be looking to make a bit of a statement, because if he gets this one and is successful, he puts himself back in that real kind of elite level at the domestic stage of things. And Denzel's someone that we've been really happy with, that we've been working with. He comes to fight, he's always engaging, he's a great character to work with. And I think both can certainly go and do very good things in the sport, but I think the winner of this has put himself straight back in for the British title.
Martin Bowers has been calling for Mark Heffron for a year, more than a year.
Well, they like the fight. And I think that that's testament to Mark and his manager Kevin and Michael, his trainer, for taking the fight. It was a very easy fight to make, and that's kind of always the key. If you get fights that are easy to make, you're almost going to be in for a treat. Both guys fancy it. Both are going to come to win. So we're going to see a great fight.
Now, sadly, Nathan Gorman against Richard Lartey not happening, at least for now. What's his story there?
Well, unfortunately, Richard had some issues, some complications with getting his medicals in on time. We had to take the decision not to bring him into the bubble. We didn't want to impact, this isn't just about one fight in particular, this is about a whole show. We've got a broadcaster that we need to make sure we're fulfilling our obligations to, and we've got fighters that need to go out and work. It's a shame for Nathan. We're very disappointed. I know his team is. I was speaking to them a couple of days ago about it, but where we are in a good position at the moment, and the fact that we've got so many events going on, we've been able to reschedule it. So there's no issue with his visa. His visa has been approved, it's been applied for, he's got it in hand. There's no complications with getting him in. It's just making sure that we're adhering to the government's restrictions. We're doing everything we can to keep everyone safe, so we've had to push that back. That now happens on the Liam Williams, Andrew Robinson show on the 10th of October. So in addition to what was already a cracking event there with, with JJ Metcalf, Jack Flatley, some other great fights on there, we've now got that fight to look forward to.
Now, I don't suppose there's an easy answer to this one, but I've got to ask the question because I'm sure that the guys here would want to know. With the big event supposedly taking place at the O2 with Dubois-Joyce and Daniel Dubois, and the developments overnight regarding the seemingly tightening up of social distancing. What's the latest state of play there, or is it you simply don't know at this stage?
We got the news at the same time as everyone else, which is that there's going to be some new restrictions brought in by the government from Monday. We have to just review and assess things like everyone else in all cases of sport, in business, and in life. We're having to review things constantly. We want that fight to happen. Joyce wants that fight to happen. Daniel Dubois wants that fight to happen. Their teams want it to happen. Queensbury want it to happen, and BT want it to happen. Any way we can get it on, we're going to make it happen. But it's a fight that we feel, and I think the fighters agree with us, it's a fight that deserves to have a crowd. Whether that's the ability to have it in full capacity, that remains to be seen. We don't know how long these restrictions are going to be. We've still not had clear direction from the government as to the capacity percentages we're going to be allowed in venues and when that comes into fold. We think likely at the moment that late October, November, we're going to start seeing participation of crowds at events. But we've got to talk to the O2, we've got to discuss this with BT, we've got to match these dates up, and most importantly, the fighters have got to feel comfortable with the deals that we can do.
And again, preempting another question, which again is probably one that you can't answer at this stage. We've already seen one pay-per-view go ahead from the other side, the White Povetkin fight, without a crowd. Is that feasible, or is that really a last case scenario?
I think in the current climate, anything's feasible. What do we want to see? We want to see a crowd. We want the British, Commonwealth, European heavyweight championships on the line for Daniel versus Joe in a sold-out arena such as the O2. That's the plan. Until we can't see that happening in the short term, that's the plan.
Okay, well, I think that probably sets things up quite nicely for Saturday, and looking forward to another very good show and two more good ones to follow in October as well.
No, absolutely. We've
end
been
of
on
this month then into October.
Yeah, I mean, we've been busy. We've 5 events under our belt. This is our 6th. The September 26th show. It's great to see world title action back on BT Sport and Josh Taylor's mandatory defence. Charlie Edwards debuting as well, it was a Queensbury debut, I should say rather. That's a great night of boxing that we've got. And then, as I've mentioned previously, the October 10th show, it's a stacked show, really, really good, competitive, quality fight. You're going to see great action if you tune into BT Sport over the coming weeks with boxing, so I hope the fans do.
Excellent. Well, George has got to hurry away, busy schedule and all that, so time now to meet some of the fighters who are involved at the weekend.
Struggling with debt, bills, loans, credit cards. Need a way out? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. Free, impartial advice on all your debt matters.